but I'm listening to this song, Let the Church Say Amen by Andre Crouch. I love Andre Crouch. Very sad when he passed away. You know, he made such a huge contribution to the musical industry, and was pretty much the beginning of people like the Winans and Kurt Franklin and so many people who are contemporary artists now. He had that sort of contemporary event years and years ago. But the person who introduced me to Andre Crouch actually was my older brother. My older brother, who was also a musician. And I can remember my brother would form groups and we would sing Andre Crouch songs. We went to an Andre Crouch concert. And he was just almost like our local Andre Crouch. You know, he had that sort of sense about him because he writes music too. But I remember when he would quote Andre Crouch, he would say something that Andre Crouch said consistently, and he said it even in one of his last recordings. Well, if God said it, I believe it. That settles it, and I know it's true. So can you even sort of imagine how I feel now? I lost everything, and that very brother that I looked up to, not only as a brother, but he's a spiritual leader, as a pastor, has not lifted a finger to connect with me, to help me. He does not recognize that this is a crisis that I'm in. He does not recognize it on a family level or on a church level. I'm disappointed on two levels, because not only is he a family member, and the family really does very often fail people once they get on the streets. I can talk more and more about the family institution and their lack of involvement in people when they fall on the streets. But, you know, the church too. So I'm so disappointed because he represents both. And when I listen to Andre Crouch, I can't help but hear his voice, because he's the one that introduced me to Andre Crouch when I was a teen. I was only like 4 or 5 years younger than him, but you know, he was like that native child, that native son. You know, he made the who's who of high school students, and you know, got all these awards. He was really looked up to. And for that person to let me down, I can't even tell you how discouraging that is. And I see what everybody else is going through once they lose their housing. You're just sort of shunned by people. That's what the society does. And the people who fall into that category of shunning people, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's when it really hits you on another level. That is what has really hurt me the most. I write for a street paper. There's another guy who writes for a street paper, and we were in contact by email, and he was a musician. And he told me how the people shunned him after he lost his housing. And I'm going to hopefully do another video on that, but you have to request it because I will forget. I've got a lot of things going on. But man, you wouldn't believe how they shunned him just because he lost his housing. You know, I won't listen to Andre Crouch. I still love that music. I still love Andre Crouch, but to kind of see that, you know, my own brother who quoted Andre Crouch, who followed him religiously. Andre Crouch back in the day was Andre Crouch and the Disciples. If my brother couldn't have been a disciple of Andre Crouch, he would have. But he certainly did let that that message, if God said it, I believe it, that settles it, I know it's true. Well, God did say, help the least among you. Help the least among you. And if you can't do the math and figure out the least among you are the people who have lost everything, I'm saying that to a lot of people in the church, and I grew up in the church, but I'm so disappointed, and churches in general, only a few have stepped up to take on this task and heal people's lives who have fallen into the crisis we call homelessness. All right, I'm going to be back and talk to you soon. This has been lit, and as Andre Crouch said, let the church say amen. And if God said it, I believe it. That settles it. I know it's true. Peace. This has been lit.